Hello.
How do you feel? We were just chatting and I decided to hit record. We were talking about your Jupiter return is right now.
I'm having my Jupiter return right now, and we spoke about this in another episode also, and it was me saying like I'm trying not to be stressed about it, like taking it as it comes, but I cannot help but to be a little bit like, so what's gonna happen then? What's happening? Is something happening right now? Shit, I have to make sure something happens, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, but I'm trying, yeah, it's taking my all to sort of because Jupiter is this planet of luck and abundance. So I'm like, I can't miss the opportunity. But I also know that I won't miss any opportunities. Whatever happens is going to be the thing that's going to be meant for me to happen right now. Because Jupiter is about expansion. And this is happening in my second house. So what I was expecting was like to find a new house. And maybe I still will. Jupiter is still very close.
It's brand new.
Not over yet. It's not over. But
and you have to remember, I feel like Jupiter is similar to Saturn in the energy of things don't happen immediately. They take a little bit. I've noticed this with Jupiter. It's not like Venus or Mercury where it's like right now, because those planets are like on top of us, right? Like Mars is like our freaking neighbor. Jupiter's out there, man. He is far away. And he's gigantic. And I feel like we do have to recognize that it does take a little bit more time, right? It's not instantaneous like we are so used to with Mercury or the other closer planets. It's more along the lines of Saturn. So I don't think you would feel it immediately.
No, and it's gonna hang out here for a bit.
Yeah.
I'm saying this to myself to calm myself down. Also, it's not over. But I think the second house, yes, it's like a property for sure. It's economy for sure. It's also like self-worth and values. So I feel like this is playing out and like close relationships.
Yeah.
And that is flourishing actually. So I think this is happening on that level. At least maybe it will happen on in another field as well of the second house, but I see it very much happening in my values.
Changing, shifting
And feeling very content.
Yeah.
Like feeling very lucky about it. I feel like I have everything that I need and feeling very much like I'm at the right place. I'm not rushing to go anywhere. Sure, there's things that I want to do. And I mean, Jupiter is also that planet of like, expansion. So I am feeling that pull to, to learn more. I'm really in that time right now. I really feel like I want to study more. Like that is very like it's very I'm itching to
we
study
were
more.
talking
And we're gonna do this, you and me.
Yep.
Yeah, which is amazing. And so yeah, I guess I guess I am seeing it.
I think I'm seeing it in you. I think I'm seeing it in you. Just
I feel like a happy gal.
In the conversations we've been having around your work and maybe putting less time into the working for others and more time into the things you want to do that bring you joy, right? That was a conversation you just had early last week. And that feels very Jupiter and Gemini, right? Having more of a healthy identification with the both sides of things, both the work and the play and the out there energy with the people and the inside energy with yourself, right? That I'm seeing these things pop up in your conversations where that's I wouldn't say that was your normal conversation the last couple months, last 9 to 10 months.
Yeah.
So that stuff's definitely shifting. And you have been thinking about moving. You have been thinking about looking at property and different locations.
And I am looking. Yeah, I'm looking. I haven't found anything yet. And I know it takes time and suddenly, oof, you will find the place. But before you get there, you're like, man, am I ever going to find it? You know?
Right. And you have to remember that Jupiter is at like the last moment of your second house. Right. It's not in the beginning. So you've been thinking about this moving and, where am I going to settle and having a garden. You've been like almost manifesting it in your energy for a while. And I feel like it is going to just all of a sudden happen. Just boop. Oh, hey, guess what? I bought a house and I'm moving next week. Like I could see it happening very, very quickly because you've been sitting in that Taurus energy for so long, thinking about it and adjusting to it. and now you
Yeah.
get to boop make the change, which is so Gemini.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, we feel this way now, but I thought we
Yeah.
felt that way. Yeah, well now we feel this way, and now we're going this direction, but we were going that direction. Yep, and now we're going this way.
Yeah. So I guess that's how it's going to be. It's going to be a very Gemini move.
Yeah.
It will be like, yeah, fast as the wind.
And I love that because you have your other lovely planet of values in Gemini too. So
I do.
it fits you energetically quite well.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. This is true.
And energetically, we have a new month already. A new
Oh,
month.
yeah.
We are doing a transit reading today. I can't even believe it's June. What the what?
I know. I know. Like May, do you remember like when we sat down to record May and we were like, oh my God, finally April is almost over. So hectic. Look at May. It's going to be so
Yep.
lovely and calm.
Yeah.
May has been a whirlwind in another way.
Mm-hmm.
Like April was so challenging, you guys. I don't know if you guys remember, we had the full moon in Scorpio that finished everything up. But before that, we had eclipse season, Mercury retrograde. We had the Jupiter Uranus conjunction. It was a lot.
Busy.
Yeah.
April felt frantic and fiery and agitating. The energy of April, when I look back, it felt agitating. Like
Yeah.
there was a lot of friction. And then May felt more fluid, but it went fast.
Yeah.
It felt like a fast fluid, like I was floating on the river, but the river's current was quite speedy. Like it had just rained and all the mountain water was rushing down and the river was
Yeah.
full. And I was just like holding on. And
Yeah.
it flowed fine, but it was really quick. I can't believe
I
it.
know. It's just like when I'm looking outside and you're like, where did those flowers come from? Like overnight, like everything is growing so fast, everything is so potent. And that's what I feel like the energy for this month has been like. It's been growing pains after April sort of thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Whew.
I've been feeling like sort of empty-ish in a not so bad way, but
Mhm.
just like, well, I have to just be here and not do so much. I can't do anything because I need to just be, you
That-
know?
Exactly. So for me, the being was like laying in an empty raft. Like the visual I have in my head is laying in an empty raft, and the raft is just flowing down the river, and I am just hanging on to the ropes on the side, and it is empty. It's just me and the river,
Yeah.
right? But I'm hanging on, and we are flowing fast.
Mm.
I honestly cannot believe we're getting to the middle of the year already, and I see it because I know you're recording late, and it's still light out. I can still see lightness by you all the time now.
Yes, it's crazy. Like when we go to bed, we go to bed pretty early, but like we're usually in bed by 10 p.m. and it's still light outside. Like it's not bright like now. Like now is looks like daytime, but it's actually almost 7 o'clock at night. But it's you can see
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
at 10 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny how that shifts for you. You're so far north.
Mm.
So June is when it really is going to brighten up for you at night because
21st of June, longest
Yep.
day of the year.
Yep,
Yeah.
we have the solstice this month. So let's dive in. What's happening in June? We start off on the 1st. What day of the week is the 1st? Is that a Saturday? I think it is. Yeah, Saturday, the 1st of June.
All right.
So we
Oh,
have
super soon.
the sun and Venus are conjunct. So
Yes.
they will be conjunct in Gemini.
Yeah. Lovely. This is nice. I mean, we have the sun shining is big bright light on the planet of what we value.
Mhm.
So beginning this month with that, we have two transits going on this date, but quite like beneficial ones. Like
Both of them are. Yeah.
both are, yeah. The other one is Jupiter trying to Pluto. But the sun conjunct to Venus. Yeah, I like that. Just bring our identity closer to our values. The sun being our identity and Venus our values.
So this happens every 218 days. I just looked it up. Venus takes
Mm.
218 days to go around. So this is a once a year occurrence ish, right? A little bit more. But I appreciate this day when we can align with our values, our willpower and our energy source, our vitality and our values are lined up. Like that feels like a really great day for decision making. Whether
Mm.
you are deciding to shift your schedule and spend more time with the kids, or whether you're shifting, and whatever you're shifting, it's because your values are getting more in alignment with your identity. And then
Mm.
Jupiter being in Gemini as well, and that having an easy trine conversation with the planet of transformation, and both of them in an air sign. This is a great day. Almost like it reminds me of like January 1st, like a New Year's
Mm.
resolution or like a reset, right? Go back and check your
Yeah.
values and the things that you set up in January, right? Or go back to your solar return, your birthday, and the things that you reset. But this is a great day to kind of get your vision board set or get your
Mm.
goals for the month or just realign everything. And it's a great day to be flexible and do it.
Mm.
So much Gemini and Aquarius energy. I really love this.
Yeah, this is really nice. And this is for the 1st and the 2nd of June. And yeah, I like that. Like this is super beneficial for getting in touch with your values and having like an easy access to it with
Yes.
that trine between Jupiter and Pluto.
Yes, I think that's, and again, Jupiter, the biggest planet, and Pluto, the transformation planet. So we get to have this good luck expansion with how we transform. And in this flexible air energy and this Aquarian genius, you get to
Mm.
figure out what needs to shift so that you can do things better, so that you can
Mm.
call in the things you're asking for, manifesting the new job, the new partner, the whatever, the cleaner house, whatever you're
Yeah.
calling in. This is a great day of like intention setting and value aligning. I feel very like get your
Mm.
calendars out and get your goals all set up. That feels really good.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
What a great day to launch the month.
Very. Very.
And then the second, these are both kind of active as well. So the 1st and 2nd of June is a great time for that. And then on the 2nd, we also have Mercury in Taurus, and then is having a sextile conversation with Neptune. So our mind can get involved here as well as our dreams. So now we have a conversation between our mind and our dreams, or our um, artistic flow. So we can bring that into our decision making with our alignment
Mm.
and resetting our schedule. This is so fun because
Mm.
I've been planning on doing this with my own self anyway, with the kids. Now that we've got schools and stuff shifting and daycares and all, schedules shifting, we're needing to do that anyway. So freaking thanks, planets.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Well, on June 3rd, Mercury leaves Earthy Taurus, Earthy slow Taurus, and enters Gemini, where everything's going to be fast, super fast.
And Mercury loves Gemini.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
happy here. This is one of its ruling signs. Virgo is the other. So Mercury and Gemini feel good together. This is a happy
Yes.
combination, and it gets your mind, it like, and it just levels your brain up in the action energy department of ideas and
Yeah.
flow and meeting with people and networking and chatting and yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and we have been having a lot of Taurus energy for a long time with a bunch of planets here, and also Mercury in Taurus, making our thinking be very slow because we want to understand everything and we want to understand in what order we do things. And it needs to be a plan and we need to, have a routine. And like that's how Taurus is.
Yep.
And that's how our mind, that's how we've been focusing our mind. And now we have the sun, we have Venus, now Mercury is entering Gemini. So like shifting a lot of what we're feeling from this earthy, very stable, grounded energy to that butterfly of Gemini, where things are going to start moving
Yep. Yep.
fast. Yeah.
Movement. Yeah. Movement and flexibility is, I think, the key for already for June. Like we're only in the first 3 days and I'm already like, whoo, everybody better get real flexible real fast because we were stuck in earth for a while. It feels almost like, analogy wise, like we were kind of stuck in the mud right?
Mm.
It's been raining a ton here in Wisconsin. I don't know where you are,
Mm.
but we have been really experiencing a lot of rain. And when you wear muck boots and barn boots and go out there, sometimes you and you get stuck and you go to pull your foot out and the boot stays there. It happened the other day. And you're stuck in the mud. Well, now with Gemini, we get to kind of like rise above the earth and almost get like our hoverboards or our drone
Mm.
energy, and we get to be the drone flying up above. So it's very functional as far as
Mm.
intelligence and understanding things and logical, but it's really movable energy
Mm.
and very flexible. And if you are any kind of earth natally, this feels a little uncomfortable for you. So find your airy friends and hang on to them. Give me a call. I'll help you out. This is going to be real different than May. Real different.
On the third, we still have the Sun and Venus conjunction. We still have the Jupiter and Pluto trine, uh, and the Mercury sextile to Neptune.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Active first 3 days. And then the
yeah.
fourth, we get to add in some other stuff. What do we got? So we got Sun and Venus conjunction. We got Mercury conjunct with Jupiter now. So Mercury and Jupiter meet up in Gemini. So now we get on the fourth, the planet of the mind with the planet of expansion, good luck, good fortune, and obnoxiousness. We can't forget that Jupiter can get really obnoxious.
Mm.
When you have your mind and this big planet of expansion, you might get way too many ideas on this day. This is a great idea generator day. So if you're a business
Mm.
person, I know I got a bunch of business peeps listening, some friends of mine, put on your calendar June 4th. This is a great day for ideas. Like have something to capture ideas into. You might just get them like ping, 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 right? Coming at you.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
else do you
Because
see
we
that showing up?
no, because I'm looking at the other transits too. We have Mercury would be conjunct to Jupiter at the same time as Mercury is trying to Pluto, and Jupiter is still trying to Pluto. So yes, this like lovely conversation with transformation at the same time as your mind is expanded.
Yep.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a busy 4th of June. Holy macaroni. So Jupiter and Mercury together, trying to Pluto. Just put these basic words together the way you think and communicate and learn. And that is having an expansion with Jupiter and giving you new ways of thinking. And then they're both in Gemini. So changeable, fast, multiple perspectives,
Mm.
and communicative, very, very chatty. And then these two already stimulated energies are having another stimulation, a trine with the planet of, hey, let's destroy this thing and then rebuild it something new. That sounds really
Mm.
fun. And it's in Aquarius, which is weird and eclectic and unique and all things independent yet community oriented. So I don't know what everybody's got going on, but just be prepared for your path to suddenly shift.
Yeah.
If you thought you were going up here straight and then taking a left, be prepared to slam on the brakes, make a U-turn, and then veer off to the right because something's changing. Wherever you
Yeah.
thought you were going, you're not going that direction anymore.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, and like the only thing that could be bad here, I feel like, is if you go way like too far too fast
Yes.
with whatever it is that you feel like you have this great new idea
Yep.
about doing something super transformational, which might be like some yeah, in a new way, and you feel like it's a great idea because Jupiter is there.
Right.
Just go through that idea. Just go through it once more and maybe twice more just to
Yep.
feel into it. Is this going to give the effect that I need and want?
Exactly. And looking to the other planets, we have Saturn in confusing Pisces. So, our planet of maturity that we can rely on for helping us make good decisions is stuck in a sign right now that is not easy for decision making. It's confused and
Mm.
foggy. So, we have to give it extra time to feel what our body is telling us, to feel what our intuition is telling us. Saturn is a planet of time and he's stuck in the fog. So we need even more time before we make the decision. But these guys over here, Jupiter, Mercury, Pluto, they don't want to take any time. They want to make a decision right now. Right now. Yesterday.
Yeah.
That's too long. It took nope, 2 days ago. Make the decision then and then
Yeah. Big transformation now.
right. And Saturn's like, but wait a minute. I don't know where I am. So just hang on. I gotta orient myself. And Mars is in Aries.
Mm.
So the driver of the car is very gregariously excited about all of these planets in Gemini. He's been waiting for this shit for a while. He's like, yes, finally somebody who's going to go with me. Let's go. Let's go. You guys, this can be a time where we don't make good decisions. Okay. Like, I really, as much as I love this energy and I'm smiling and laughing, I'm also an eternal optimist and I always think everything works out. But I have to be realistic when I'm giving advice. This shit can make really not good decisions too, especially when the driver of the car, Mars in Aries, doesn't think. You guys,
Yeah.
Mars in Aries does not think. There's no thinking. There's only action. There's only spontaneity. So we got to think about this because we have a lot of indecisive people hanging out in Gemini. And they're chatting over here with Aquarius, Pluto, who's going, yeah, you guys, let's do it. Let's transform. Come on, let's do it. Yeah, you want to be weird? Let's be weird. Come on, let's be weird. So he's egging them on. And meanwhile, Saturn's like trying to hold the fort down, but he's stuck in a cloud and he doesn't know where everybody is. And all of the other big planets, they're all up above the cloud. They're all having a chat above Saturn. They're like, look, he's down in the fog. Let's do our own thing. It's like when the parent is sleeping on the couch and the kids are coloring on each other with Sharpie markers and right, like they thought that was fun. They thought the walls needed color, right? And then the parent wakes up and goes, "What? Why did you think that was a good idea?" And then all the kids just shrug their shoulders and look at each other, and go, "I don't know, he did it. No, I don't. She did. I don't know." This is exactly.
And Mars and Aries is standing there like,
You guys, seriously, I have enough kids to know that this energy can go real bad too.
Yeah. So whatever really great idea you have about change and transformation, I'm sure it's great. Just maybe tweak it so that it will come out in the way that you want it to come out so that it actually can have the wanted effect.
Yes, because we
think about the consequences.
So many consequences, you guys, and Mars doesn't care about the consequences. Doesn't care. Don't give a shit. Saturn has to deal with them, but again, he's sleeping. He's sleeping. Oh, this is interesting. I hope I gave enough warning to everybody.
I think so.
Oh, fun. All right. So June 5th, we still got some of that energy rocking. Oh, June 6th. Like these energies are hanging out for a while together. What's the June 8th? What's going on the 8th?
But June 6th, we have a new moon.
That's right. We do. We have to talk about that.
A new moon in Gemini. The intellectual new moon, they say.
Yeah. Lots of thinking. So much thinking this month.
Yeah, and new moons are all about that. That is a great time to start something. That is the perfect time to sow a seed and to manifest. This is the time we do it, not on full moons. That's when we harvest. This is the time to maybe sit down with these transits, like you had these other transits a few days ago, where you could check in on your values and see what needs to change. So maybe on the new moon you write down, all right, this is what I want to bring into my life now. Like this is when you manifest. And Gemini is all about the intellect, and wanting to learn new things and more, and also communicating. So if you haven't done like a gathering on a new moon before, maybe this is a great first time to do that. Like gather up a bunch of friends and talk about what you want to bring into your life.
That would be a great way to do that. I love that idea.
Yeah, like mingle and manifest.
Yeah. Affirmations and setting up your next adventure, and really just recognizing the friends in your life. And this is a great time to verbally acknowledge the people who are in your life that really matter. I love doing this with new moon, especially Gemini, is writing little notes, right? Whether it's to my kids or my spouse or, just sending an email to somebody and just be like, hey, thank you for being you and being in my life. Appreciate you. Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a big, long thing. If you want it to be, you can. But this would be a great day to just send a little written communication informing
Mm.
somebody of how you feel about them. Use that moon energy, the emotions,
Mm.
and the Gemini intellect and communicate that out. Send your friends a little card, maybe even snail mail. A card in the mail.
Yes.
Whoa.
Right. It's called a May. It's called a letter. Oh my
A letter.
God. Oh my God. What is write a May? No, it's called write a letter. That's what it's called in old timey language. Write a letter with a pen
Yeah.
and paper, actual paper.
Yeah. You could
Or maybe
do
type it out and send it on the post. But yeah, use snail mail. How
Yeah.
nice.
That would be a really fun one. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So June 6th, everybody put that new moon in Gemini.
Yes.
All right. What we got
And
next?
then, well, so yeah, like you said, on the 7th, we still have the Sun conjunction to Venus. Then, my dears, we're starting to get into a different type of energy. We're having the first square of the month, and the first square for a while, because May
Had
May have like one
I
square?
think it had one. I think it had one square.
Yeah, it was like in the middle of the month. I don't even remember it. It just passed. Phew.
Yeah.
One little square we had in May, and that's it. And now it's time for some tougher energy again, because now it's actually Saturn and the Sun
Yeah.
that will be square at the same time, because Sun and Venus is still conjunct, which means that they are holding hands in the chart. They
Yeah.
are together.
They're kind
Yeah,
of moving together right now. So they stay
yeah,
conjunct for most of the beginning of June
yeah,
because of their path and trajectory. They really merge together there. So they're going to be
yeah.
there for a while.
Yeah, and that means that their energies are mixed. So whatever it is that, what your identity and your values are mixed, will be very challenged by Saturn. Saturn comes in with questions like, "Oh, okay, and how are you planning on doing that? Oh, did you know that you actually don't have any money to do those things, right? And what about all of the other obligations you have? Are you going to be able to do all of those things?"
Uh-huh.
And going to throw in a couple of those for you, and you like, and harder than that, like that's like
Yeah.
easy things. Like Saturn does that, and a lot more. Saturn can bring you down.
This reminds me of my husband and I. I love this man so much, but he is my bubble burster. Him and I have a soul contract. He knew I was going to have all the idea bubbles, and his job was to throw darts at all of the stupid shit. And that is what he is here to do in my life. And so many years of our relationship, I got really offended by it. And then when I really dug into astrology of the two of us, I was like, oh, this is legit your job. Okay, I get it now. So that's what this is going to feel like.
He's just doing his job.
He's just doing his job. All of those
Yeah.
ideas that we get the beginning of the month and changing the way we show up with our values. And then these ideas here. Remember when Saturn was in the clouds and all the planets were up above getting all the ideas? Now is when the authority figure is going to wake up and say, this was not a good idea. You do not need to color on each other with Sharpie markers. This is dumb. And let me tell you why this is stupid. So the 8th and 9th and 10th, there's so much Saturn Sun square energy.
Yeah.
And it merges into a different square energy, the 10th, 11th, and 12th. It's Mars square to Pluto. So there's a lot of like square after square. So from the 8th until the 12th.
And with some heavy hitters as well.
We got some heavy hitters, and Saturn's involved. And then right when Saturn's not involved, Pluto's involved. So we have some solid, I call this the cosmic frying pan, you guys. This is the cosmic frying pan upside the head. If you make dumb decisions the first week of June, Saturn is going to smuck you the second week.
Yeah, I could see this as, like, for example, if you have the Sun Venus conjunction, you're like, oh, my values, what do I need? Oh, I actually need to buy a membership at the yoga club. Let's do that. That's great for me.
Yep.
Then you
Forgot about a
realize that you have,
bill.
yeah, you get the bill and you realize, oh shit, I can't even go to half these classes because I have work then. I'm
Yep.
gonna end up losing money because of this.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. Not giving it the mature thought is what's really going to kick all of our butts. And I say,
Mm,
our butts because it does feel like you get a kick in the pants from Saturn. He's good at that. So,
mm,
this is your warning, everybody listening, that early June, you're going to get lots of ideas. And then you're going to have Mars and Aries going to go, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Like he's going to be that obnoxious friend who is going to get you in trouble. I promise you. Aries and Gemini go well together. I know this. They get into trouble a lot. And I've learned this
yeah.
my whole life. Please take my advice because I've also had Saturn give me a cosmic frying pan several
Mm,
times. And it's this energy is like back to back. So learn this now while you're listening so that you don't have to learn it in real time. Saturn wants
mm,
you to be smart and take your time. Do not rush in, even though everybody is telling you to rush in and they're telling you to buy now. Oh, this opportunity is only good for this long. Buy it now. Don't buy it now. Don't. Mm-mm. Does that align with your
mm,
values? Does it really? Or does it align with
mm,
half of your values? And remember, Gemini, there's two people. You got to make sure both
mm.
Gemini twins are involved in the decision making process. And you can't just make one decision when one of them is out, taking a poop or getting a shower or whatever, right? Like you got to involve both twins. And that
Yeah.
takes time. And Saturn wants you to be mature and take time. So June
Yeah.
8th, June 9th, June 10th, be aware that the sun and Saturn are square. And then
Yeah.
on the 10th, Mars and Pluto are square. So now we have, again, Mars is the action guy who got you in trouble. And now he's getting the wrath of the destruction and creation planet. And they're having a tension filled conversation going, did you actually tell these guys to do this? Did you? Oh, you drove
Mm,
them there? Oh, I don't think so. Right.
mm.
Like there's going to be
10th of June, it just has what's it called? Power struggle written all over it, with Sun still in a square to Saturn and Mars in a square to Pluto. This really don't get into
Mm-mm.
discussions. Don't give it your effort, because you and the other person in this discussion, you're both gonna be influenced
Yeah.
by this. I mean, unless that you can be such a good observer and you can see how you're handling this situation, but the other person might not be such a good observer and see how
Exactly.
this planetary energies are affecting them. This is just not a great time to get into it, and you will feel like you want to get into it,
Oh, yeah.
because this is triggering your ego. This is triggering the like you want for power and to decide things and your
Mm-hmm.
identity, and it's like, yeah,
And we
very
have to
triggered.
say that on the 8th, when Sun and Saturn are having, and Venus and Saturn are having their argument with their squares, that's when Taurus slips out, or I mean, Mars slips out of Aries into Taurus. So we move out of fiery Aries, who got
Mm,
us in trouble earlier, and now we move into stubborn Taurus. And
mm,
so Mars is now in stubborn Taurus as he's square to Pluto. So we have stubborn Taurus square to stubborn Aquarius. Serious power struggles, you guys. 10th,
yeah.
11th, and 12th. I want you to circle that if you have children in your life or a spouse or any people that you are close to. I want you to just circle that and put patience. And under
And
that, right?
flexibility.
Yep, flexibility and power struggles, right? Power
Mm,
struggles. And just know that that's the energy.
yeah.
You may even have internal power struggles. Maybe you want to like, right, maybe you want to be real mean with your words and real snarky. This is how it shows up with me. Like I get real heated inside and I want to just on everybody because it's how I'm programmed. And I'm working on not doing that. So
Mm,
I can already foresee the internal power struggle I will have to control the way I speak
mm,
and to not let the flames fly out of my mouth like the angry dragon, right? I will have to maintain my own inner calm. So I know 10, 11, and 12, I'm going to be doing a lot of physical exercise. I'm going to be doing a lot of energy work as far as making sure I'm fed, right? So that
Yeah.
we don't get Mars angry. We don't want our body to be depleted and not have the fuel. So making sure I'm fed and I'm not hangry. I know you guys get
Yeah.
hangry.
Yeah.
Making sure I'm drinking plenty of water, because when there's tension, there's heat. So drinking lots of water and then moving my body. These are crucial. The June 8th through the 12th. These core things: food, water, and movement. If you want
Yes.
to yell at somebody, if you want to be, real intense and military dictator, like, cool, go for a walk first. Go jumping
Yeah.
jacks outside.
Yeah, and I feel like this is such a good time to, I mean, if you want to benefit from this, which you definitely can, like you can benefit from all types of transits. Nothing is, eh, I mean, nothing is good and bad or bad. We
No.
speak about it as like we're a little bit like, oh, this, because this has the possibility to provoke a lot of people and trigger a lot of people.
Yeah.
But if we can be observant of how we're acting, this is going to help us grow so much. And if you can invite in humility, so when you're having a conversation, maybe with yourself in your head or with someone, and you feel something bubbling up, you can be like, okay, this is that day. This is Pluto, Saturn, Mars, Sun energy right now, like in a struggle with each other. Ooh, okay. What, why am I triggered right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. Let me write that down.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could even say to someone, oh, you know what? That actually got me really triggered. Ooh, how interesting. I have no idea why.
Yeah.
Oh, you know?
Remember that the sun is in Gemini, and this is the time of inform people. Even if you want to strangle them, right? I really feel like strangling you right now. I'm going to go step out. Not sure what's going on inside me. I, I do tell my children this occasionally. Like, I will
Mm,
inform them as to what I'm feeling. I'm not sure why I'm feeling it. And now I'm going to step out. This is my Gemini moon, right? I have to tell them when there's emotional
yeah.
things, and then they don't
Yes.
wonder, and then they don't make up stories in their head, and they go, oh wow, like maybe I am, a bad person. I just say, hey, the decisions you made, I'm feeling triggered by, and I'm not going to be nice. I'm going to step outside, and then everybody's cool because I just
Yeah.
inform them. This is an
Yeah.
inform your people time. That may take extra work on your part, because on the 12th, Mercury is square to Saturn. So you may have some extra work to do that informing. It may not feel comfortable for you. Not everybody has so many air placements like me and has the open ability to tell everybody how they feel all of the damn time. But this is a great time for all of you to practice. All of the people that don't have these air placements like I do natally, you get to use this air energy to practice with
Mm,
Pluto in Aquarius and the Sun in Gemini and Mercury in Gemini. You get to practice
yeah.
speaking and informing. And that's what the squares allow us to do. It's like lifting weights. You got to go and do some
Yeah.
repetitions, right? And work out.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people might feel like they are will be on the losing end, like they may look bad if they would say something like, oh, I was just triggered, I wonder what that was. I have to just step outside, let me take a moment to think about this. But actually, isn't that a lot better than you saying something really snarky to a colleague or to a boss,
Yep.
and I'm feeling bad about it and having to deal with the repercussions of that?
Yep.
Isn't it so much smarter and nicer to just in the moment, oh, hang on, I'm feeling something. Even if it tells the other person you are not in control. We're not in control of ourselves. None of us are. We're
Heck no.
we're dealing with energies all the time. So but you're taking control of the situation by saying something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really a beautiful energy of growth, right? Again, Jupiter moved into Gemini, and this has not happened for 12 and a half years. Who were you 12 and a half years ago? The last time this giant planet of expansion was in the sign of learn to inform people.
Mm,
Tell them. They can't see through your thick skull. You have to tell them how you're feeling, what you're thinking, what's going on inside of you. Use this planet of expansion and
mm,
learning how other people do it. Listen to me and Helena and learn how to do this in a new way. Right? That's what astrology teaches us, is that we can use the transits to teach ourselves stuff and work in that energetic flow.
yeah.
I love that. What else we got going on?
Let's take a look here. So that's those days. On the 13th, we actually have 0 exact transits. We have a little break there. And then on June 14th, yes, we need that. We need to break there. We do. After all of those days with those heavy squares, June 14th, Sun conjunct to Mercury. And this happens quite often because Mercury goes back and forth over the Sun. When we're having the Mercury retrograde, and then it goes direct, and then it goes retrograde. That's what it does. Yeah, but Sun conjunct Mercury will just shine that spotlight of the Sun onto your mind. So I feel like you will be maybe a little bit more in contact. Like your identity will be closer to your like your communication process and your thinking process.
Yep. This can lead to two different things. It can lead to really aware energy of your brain and your thoughts, and really aware energy of your brain and your thoughts. So one of them can be idea oriented and one of them can be anxiety oriented.
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
Because the awareness of the thoughts, you can almost get on a hamster wheel of those thoughts, and you can start to
Especially this being a Gemini.
yes. And then you start to identify with those thoughts. And now you're on the hamster wheel of identification with the mind, which, if the thoughts are of any kind of paranoia or feelings of suspicion or, just unhealthy thoughts, that can get you on the wheel of anxiety super fast. So be aware that they're just thoughts. They're not you. You are not your thoughts at the moment. You have the ability to change them. You have the ability to make a choice and find a new thought. Even if that doesn't feel true at the moment, it doesn't feel like your actual way of thinking. That's what affirmations are. That's what mantras are. This would be a phenomenal day, June 14th, to put in sticky notes all over. I actually have them all over. And write them down. Write down your affirmations. Write down some things that you would like to believe about yourself, or you would like to have as your new thought. Okay. Maybe you're having a thought of, I am not a good person, right? Well, that's not true. What is something that is true? I am an amazing friend and listener. Cool. Write that down. Put that on your mirror, right? This is a really good day for shifting and getting off of the anxiety train and recognizing your thoughts and not sticking your identity on them. Even though that's what it is, the Sun is your identity, and Gemini, Mercury thoughts, all kinds of intellectual stuff. This is where you can create that awareness and zoom out of the picture, zoom out and see the thoughts, that they're just thoughts. They're just thoughts.
Yeah.
And you can write down new ones. I have them all over here. Here's one I wrote down. You got to do something you've never done before to get results you've never had before. There's a sticky note I wrote right next to me. And I read that a lot when I'm getting stuck in old thought programming. And then I look at that and go, oh, I got to do something I've never done. What's something I've never done? Well, let me go record a reel, or let me go do that. Right. And I do something different. So
Yeah.
writing down affirmations on the 14th, I think, would be phenomenal, especially if you struggle with any kind of anxiety or paranoia kind of thoughts. Yeah. Thanks, astrology, for helping us out there.
Yes. Then on the 15th, we're having another little break. No exact transits in the sky. And yeah, on the 16th, we have two things. Actually, we have three things. Venus is moving into Cancer.
Yep.
On this date. The same time as Mercury will be conjunct to Venus.
Yep.
And Venus square to Neptune. But Mercury is still for a little time at the very end of Gemini here, and Venus is like on the Cancer side, and then Mercury is going over to Cancer the day after.
Yep. Yeah, so there's a lot of movement of energetic shifting around the middle of the month again.
I love Venus in Cancer. It just feels like a like almost like a home. Like Venus is at home in Taurus, like in Earth energy, but Venus feels so Cancerian as well.
It feels comfy
doesn't
here.
it?
It feels so
Yeah.
comfy. Like I sat on a really nice couch with a really fuzzy blankie. I just love Venus in Cancer. I really do.
It's very expressive. Like I feel like here you can be very flowy. Like Venus is, yeah, all your values, relationships, like how you, what you choose to wear to express yourself,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps, and Cancer is just a super, very soft,
Mm.
feminine energy, soft like the mother, like the
Yeah.
nurture. Start caring about like cooking for a friend. Like that's the most nice thing. That's what I want to do right now. And like decorating the table in a really nice way and make
Mm-hmm.
everyone feel at home. And yeah, bring a warm blanket to everyone. Like, here, are you cold?
Right. Take care of, like, I can see like some romance and lovey dovey. And like you
Mm,
said, making little treats. I was picturing making chocolates for some reason. I've never made chocolates, but man, that came in my
mm,
head all of a sudden. Very, I feel very like your summer romance kind of thing, right?
yeah.
This is the energy of Venus in Cancer. So
Very
this,
giggly. Yeah.
yeah.
Giggly and flirty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so that's the 16th is when that energy shifts. And then Venus is going to be square to Neptune that same day as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this could be where you want to escape into your fantasies,
Yeah.
ditch responsibilities. Like just,
And like that, whatever romance, whatever flirt you
yeah.
may see, you're like, oh, this is probably the perfect person in my life. And then it turns out, no, it's not. Like you should have thought about like this is exactly the kind of person you shouldn't be with. Like, because Neptune wants to put people on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Neptune, and then Neptune conversation with Venus being a struggly one, like a square. I just think that, yeah, maybe making some bad decision when it comes to romantic endeavors
Yes.
or
Yes.
money for sure. Buying something you should not have bought, even though it's super sparkly and really pretty and makes you feel so nice. Maybe you just actually didn't afford it.
But I want it.
Well,
But I
you
want it.
can look at
And
it.
remember, Mars is in Taurus, and your drive to feel good is very
Yeah.
strong right now. So with the drive, the person driving your car, and he just happens to pull into, the store, and you happen to just, oh, I'm just gonna go look around. I'm not gonna get anything. I'm just gonna look around. Yeah, right. Okay, sure. when
Ending
we
up getting the most expensive thing in the
Yeah.
store.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So when Venus is in Cancer and Mars is in Taurus, we have to recognize you're probably going to spend money on shit you really don't actually need, but you feel like you do.
Mm.
Yeah.
Or like buying one like an online course and never doing it. Like
Oh,
buying a really
so,
expensive online course and just not doing it.
so accurate.
Mm. We've all been there.
Yes, we have. But
Yeah.
when Mercury and Neptune are square to each other in Gemini and Pisces, or Cancer and Pisces at that little cusp right there, this is really just you're not gonna want to work. Your mind is gonna want to be checking out and doing flowy stuff. Maybe you want to go to the park for the day or do your art or
Mm.
dance in your house and clean or talk to a friend. And it's not really hard work day. It's very much like check out and do something. So maybe
Mm.
plan that in your schedule. Just June 17th, just plan on not working if you can. And if
Yeah.
you do have to work, try and make it as short or as flowy as you can. Right? Whatever
Yes.
creative endeavor you can incorporate into that. Maybe at work, if you work with, the elderly at nursing homes, maybe you can do an art project with them that day or go sit out in the garden and watch birds or whatever, right?
Mm.
Whatever your work is, try and make it into that flowy energy of
Mm.
not structured. This wants to
Yeah.
just kind of do whatever.
Yeah. And I just want to say also that whenever you and me talk about squares and like the difficulties and the challenges, the lesson and what you can get from it and how you can grow is always the other side of that. So
Yes.
always remember when we're talking about, oh, you can end up getting like losing lots of money, like there's always a lesson there. And that's really what we want to learn here. Like you might do that and then you'll have a big lesson and you might end up being able to get your money back or actually doing the work of that course that you just thought that you wouldn't do in that or whatever it is. Just learn the lesson.
And hopefully, if you do buy a
Practice that
course,
muscle.
you can do the course later on, and you can, when it feels more aligned. But hopefully, the lesson in the spending money is something that isn't going to, wipe you out or take you out, but it is going to be something you can grow from a little bit down the road. So we've got a little bit of a break on the 19th. Are we on the 19th now? Yeah. So
because
June 18th,
yeah.
Mercury and Venus are like for real conjunct. So 17th and 18th, 16, 17, 18 is that conjunction. And then Neptune gets involved there for a little bit with a square. And then the 19th, we have a break. Breath. Take a breath day. And then the sun is square to Neptune on the 20th. And when is the solstice? Is it the 21st?
It's usually on the 21st.
Sun is the 20th. Sun enters Cancer.
Oh, okay.
On the 20th this year, at least for me. I got to figure out my, the time zone.
That it might be the 21st in eastern parts of the world.
Yeah. Yeah. So the summer solstice, the sun moves into Cancer on June 20th. So happy first day of summer, everybody. Woo-woo.
Yes.
I love that. Summer. And
so nice.
Plan something for the summer solstice. Plan to celebrate. Plan to bring, playfulness and joy and nurturing and food into the mix on the 20th somehow. Whether it's having friends over or, if you're going to go dance around the maypole or whatever, whatever you do. This is a great day for renewal, right?
Yeah.
Really renewing something in your life, some kind of energetic something. Oh, summer starts. Do you guys do anything in Sweden on the summer solstice?
Oh yeah, this is the second biggest holiday after Christmas.
Okay.
This is huge in Sweden. So as you know, we have this huge flower penis that we all dance around. It's
I love it.
It's pretty much so it's this big pole and from it hangs two circles. The balls and we cover it in leaves and flowers and we celebrate fertility. That's where it comes from. This is a pagan holiday, and this is like one of few purely pagan holidays we still have left in Sweden. Most others have been morphed into Christianity, but this one hasn't. It's not religious at all. It's just pagan. And so we dance around that. We pick a lot of flowers, put them under a pillow, and that will make you dream about your future partner. And we always eat sill. We eat like potatoes and dill and sill. And I don't know if you know what sill is.
No, I don't.
Maybe it's not even a word in English. It's like tiny pickled fish. Pickled herring. That's what it is.
Oh, we've heard of pickled herring.
And we pickle it in many, many different ways. And one of my favorite is in mustard, like a mustard pickled herring. It's delicious, I promise.
I'm trying really hard not to judge, but my face does not hide that.
No, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good at all.
No, it doesn't. But no. I want to be open-minded when I go there and try this pickled herring and mustard.
With some potatoes boiled with lots and lots and lots of dill. Okay. And butter and
I can do that. I'll do the taters and dill. That sounds good.
Yeah.
I don't know about the herring, man. Oh.
Yeah.
I'd give it a go. I'd give it a try once, and that's probably all I would need.
This is the food that we eat like on every holiday. We always have potatoes and pickled herring.
And pickled herring. That's a Swedish thing, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. I love learning about.
It is Scandinavian,
cultures.
Fantastic. So that's what we do. What do you do?
Literally, I mean, like my family does something, but our society does nothing to celebrate summer solstice. Not that I know of. There's no like national thing. There's nothing that even honors it. I think most people just let it fly by and don't even pay attention, which kind of makes my heart sad a little bit. I feel a need to do something. So my family celebrates it. We usually go like hiking or do something to honor, and something nature oriented. But I feel sad that our society doesn't have something.
You should build a little fertility pole on your in your
Yeah,
garden.
absolutely. I love that. We'll do an event here on our farm and
Yeah,
have people come out and do a pickled
yeah,
herring fest.
yeah. We call this Midsummer, but I feel like now after that scary movie Midsummer, like it, the holiday kind of got a bad reputation.
I like the penis pole. That works. That's a thing
Yeah,
too. That's
yeah,
so funny. That's so
yeah.
funny. Well, on that day we have the summer solstice is the sun is square to Neptune. As
Yeah.
Neptune treks its way out of Pisces, it's just at the tail end of Pisces. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of sad that Neptune's leaving Pisces here soon.
I know it will be the last time during our lifetime
I know.
if we don't live forever, which actually we might.
Maybe, maybe. You never know.
Yeah.
AI is it's coming. It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm a little bit sad to see Neptune leave Pisces, but I've enjoyed it tremendously. And the sun and Neptune will have a square off right at the start of the summer solstice. So
Mm.
we've got that Cancer energy and just the tail end of Pisces into that Aries. And that'll be an interesting square because we've got this nebulousness and this artistic energy square to this identifying energy. So they're kind of competing and having a little bit of a discussion, heated discussion here on who gets the attention that day. Do we do our artistic, spiritual, intuitive stuff? Or
Mm.
do we go and eat the pickled herring and
Yeah,
do all the nurturing Cancer stuff, the mothering stuff? What do we do? Mm.
exactly. Like, yeah, there's a tension inside. Where do we go?
And you might just feel confused and not be able to
Mm.
even make a good decision. All kinds of decision challenges when Neptune is involved because it just
Yeah.
feels foggy and confusing. So
Yeah.
that'll be an interesting start to summer. And then the 21st, Mercury is having a sextile to Mars. So these two are having a nice conversation again, quick, easy conversation. So that's good to have. I enjoy when
Yeah.
there's nice conversation between your mind and action. When there's
Yeah.
alignment there, friggin' finally, right? Like, okay, my brain and my action button know that we're moving in the same direction. That
Mm.
feels nice. I really
Mm.
appreciate that. And this is another area of time where we want to be real direct and honest with our communication. Is our mind communicating, and then Mars and Taurus is that action and that directness. And Taurus is usually quite frank, doesn't like beat around the bush. This is like, hey, I'm not really happy right now and we need to fix some things, right? It's very like, I'm not going to sugarcoat things. Taurus doesn't
Mm.
sugarcoat things. And so this would be a great time to be pretty clear and frank about your thoughts and your feelings and help you to communicate out what you've been needing to say for a while. So although the conversations could be difficult conversations in nature, speaking them out and using that Mercury in Cancer to soften the way it comes out. And then the
Mm.
bluntness of Mars and Taurus of just kind of laying it out there. So I like that combo on June
Mm.
21st. So that'll be nice.
Yeah.
Oh, don't forget about the full moon the 21st.
Oh, hang on. Right. Oh, okay. So yeah. So on the 21st, when we have that Sun square to Neptune, Mercury sextile to Mars, we also have a Capricorn full moon.
Mm-hmm. You better pay
I'm looking
attention
forward
to
to
this,
that.
Miss Moon and Capricorn lady.
I know. I'm very much looking forward to this.
This is a
Okay.
powerful one for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And the planet that rules Capricorn is Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
So, and full moons are about letting go,
Yep.
releasing. And Saturn is about structure.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an interesting combination, and I can see like, oh, that's a weird combination, but also at the same time, how great. Like Saturn can just come in, like the energy of Capricorn is just like, get it done, release those things, write that
Yeah.
list of the things that you're going to release, you know?
Yeah. Just do it.
Get to work on the things that you're going to let go of.
Absolutely. And also
Hmm.
really recognizing that the work that you have done. I think this is a time to really recognize and not call in new stuff, but recognize what has been done, what you have worked hard on, what you have been putting your effort and energy into. So taking that full moon in Capricorn and taking a minute as the moon is its brightest in this work house energy, workhorse kind of energy of Cap, and really shining that an emotional spotlight on
Mm.
the work that's been done and how
That
far
that
you have come.
yeah, and that's I guess the tricky part, because the full moon is all about emotions. It really brings up a lot of emotions, so that's how we like go through our emotions. And Capricorn is not the most super comfortable with emotions.
Yeah.
So I guess it could be a little bit a little conflict inside of like you needing that release, that emotional release. But the moon being in Capricorn is like, oh, maybe you're trying really hard to not go there. But I mean, yeah, and me and all Capricorns out there, we know that we just sometimes need to soften up and let those emotions run through us. It really helps us. It's not bad. It, you know,
Sand your
it's
edges a little
fine.
bit more. Sand it down. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah, it'll be all right. You
yeah.
guys will make it through that. I appreciate that sun in Cancer, so it can shine that light that's needed for Capricorn. It's I feel like the Cancer Capricorn axis is the most
Mm,
different when it comes to being able to nurture, like
yeah.
fully nurture. Capricorns are so service oriented and they
Mm,
really do good job taking care of others, but when it comes to nurturing themselves, ooh, not their strong suit at all.
no.
Making sure to use this to take care of yourself.
Yeah. And Capricorn is has sometimes can carry the energy of guilt a lot, because Capricorns want to fix stuff for others and takes on a workload. And I can do that. I can fix that. Yeah, I don't have emotions, so
Heck yeah.
I'm good. I'll take that. Throw it on me. I'll take another bag on my back. So we're very good at being in that guilt thing of like taking on guilt. So this could be a great day since it's the full moon and it's all about releasing. Maybe you write a little list of 3 things that you feel guilty about,
Hmm. I like
and
that.
maybe get into that and see if there's something you can release around that.
Yeah. I really
Release
like that.
guilt.
Do it.
Yeah.
Great energy for the Capricorn full moon. Release guilt. Yes.
Mm.
100% do that. Mm-hmm.
And then we have a long break
And then we have a
because
break. So
we
you
will
get to
need it.
release the guilt and then integrate and breathe.
Mm.
The 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. It's quiet. Everybody just take some deep breaths. This is when we integrate all of the energy of the squares, all of the energy of the moon, the solstice, all of his shifting signs, planetary energy. We get to integrate and be. Now, this isn't
Yeah.
necessarily easy. It's not necessarily not easy. It's just integration time. It's when the
Yeah.
sky gives us a break from giving us assignments and lets us actually do the homework and get the assignment done. So we now get to do our energetic assignment, practice it, learn how to play our music, and then on the 26th, we get to show Saturn that we've been doing it. Hi,
Yay.
teacher. I did my work. Here's Mercury trine to Saturn. Here, let me take my mind
Great.
and show you what I did. Look, here's my paper. Right.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Thank you, Saturn, for showing up. Yeah, we get to take the moment of the 26th and show Saturn with our mind and communicate what we have learned, what we've integrated, what we've let
Mm.
go of, and what we are focused on. So, using that informing Mercury to inform our authority people, our you know bosses, our partners,
Yeah.
our employ whoever is our kind of
Your
authority
inner
person.
authority as well, like that inner critic.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like that. And letting them know we've been doing the work and here's the things we've been doing. It's almost like giving them the report or the summary of all the stuff we've done. Here's the memo. So that's the
Mm.
26th. We get to use the awareness of our conscious mind to reward our inner authority person
Yeah.
that we've been doing our work. That feels good.
Yeah. It does. Then on the 27th, we have Venus in a sextile to Mars.
Mm.
And Venus and Mars will have the sextile on the 27th, 28th, 29th, and the 30th. So like all through the from the 27th and all through the through the to the end of June. And I'm feeling like this is a very nice soft end of the month.
Yeah.
After that middle of the squares and then the full moon, and then it's like break. And then
I'll take an
yes.
ending like this. This is
Yeah.
lovely. Venus sextile to Mars. Those sextile energies are, I like to think of it as like you and your friend and in middle school are sitting in the auditorium and there's like a kid between you, and this kid is not like in your group, right? But there's a kid between you, but you and your friend keep like passing notes back and forth over the top of the kid, right? It's not hard to still reach your friend. They're just one
Mm,
person over. So that's what I think of as a sextile. Is like this
mm,
connection. There's just like there's a little bit of a thing in the way, not much, but we can just reach around and just still connect. And when the planet of values and relationship and that feminine energy is having a lovely, easy conversation with our drive and our masculine and our go and our passion, oh, this feels so energetically lovely inside of you. Your feminine
yeah.
and your masculine are in harmony. They're chatting in a good conversation. They're playing a good chord. It's a
Yeah.
lovely energy that isn't difficult to get your values and your drive to match and take action on the things that really matter to you. Really
Yeah.
matter. This feels lovely. I
Yeah.
great way to end the month. Yes, please.
Yeah. Yes. So we have this, and then on the 30th, we add a little Mercury sextile to Uranus. Boop.
Mm,
And
nice.
that's it for a month. Yeah. So we add a little bit of like um how we're how we're thinking and communicating with a little bit of a funky spark, like a little
Yeah.
like, oh, let's do it in a new way. So you might go and because Mercury is very social. So Mercury is also like your friend circle and stuff like that. So how you communicate, maybe you go out and mingle in a new place or
Yeah.
like bring a new friend, you know?
Yep. Something different, something spice it up.
Yeah.
Little bit of zip into the energy of your mind, and this is a real good day for like a new hit of genius, a new brilliant idea. Great
Yeah.
idea generator day is the end of the month, June 30th. So there's a couple
Yeah.
good idea generation days in the month
Mm.
of June. Overall, how do you feel about this month?
I feel good about it. I do. Like I may once I realized like it's not going to be all roses with all even though we only had one square. Um I feel good about having a couple of squares now again. Like
Yep.
we're ready for it. And whatever energy, whatever transit is hitting and coming, it's something that we are ready for right now. And it's not like we can look at this month and be like, oh, I wish it would have been this or something else.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
yeah, we might express like, oh shit, how that's gonna go. But I wouldn't have it any other way because that's not what the universe has in store for us. This is what the universe has in store for us. So it's like I feel great about it. Some I've seen months look more difficult and challenging than this, but I
Yes.
do like some challenge. So
I
yeah, I'm here for the
appreciate
squares.
I appreciate the challenge. Whenever people look at the chart and they're like, "Oh, look at all that red." I was like, "Yeah, look at all the strength you gain in life, right?
Yeah.
The red is not bad. It's gaining strength. It's gaining muscle. It's working on it, working out. I love squares because they force us to look at the areas where we're weak and we need some strength. You just got to do
Mm,
some push-ups or some planks, or like get those
yeah.
muscles activated again,
Mm,
and use the knowledge that you've accumulated over time to work through those challenging energies and gain some
yeah.
strength. And whenever there's a square, I highly encourage any of my clients or even myself to reach out to a friend for a second opinion. Reach out to a trusted source and say, "Hey, here's what I'm struggling with. Can you
Mm,
just help me out?" It's similar to hiring a personal trainer. "Hey, I'm
mm,
struggling with accountability. Can you help me out? I'm struggling defining my abs. Can you help me out?" That's what a personal trainer is, or a coach,
yeah.
or whatever. So when
Yeah.
there's these days of squares, the June 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, phone a friend, right? have somebody on speed dial that you can be like, whoa, need some insight from somebody else. Help me out, please. Square energy is so great of a time to phone a friend. So put that
We would
on your,
not, yeah, we wouldn't grow without the squares and oppositions.
Yeah.
And when you said earlier the red, I don't know if everyone knows, but you referring to the chart, the red is the line between planets when they're having a square conversation or an opposition.
Yeah.
And that they show that with the red line usually, at least in astro.com that we use, they always show a red line.
Yeah.
And yeah, that can be scary, like, oh my god, I have so many red lines in my chart. And then you say, yeah, look at all your strength.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels good.
I love that. Yeah.
Well, thanks for going through the June transits with me. And I'm excited to see how your Jupiter conjunction unfolds this month.
Yeah, my juju return.
Yeah. Should be really interesting to see. And it's not just you and my younger brother actually have the same placement with Jupiter. And I'm working with him in our business. He's become part of our business. So I'm actually really excited because his falls in the second house. And I was like, yes, please. I'll take some of that Jupiter return energy in your second house. Why don't you share that with your sister, please? Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's also a great time to look back 12 years and see what was happening 12 years ago. And I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to do that, not to compare, but just to see how it showed up last time.
Yep. Just to see. I think it's real interesting when Jupiter was in Aries last time. I gave birth to a baby. I was huge. And last time, and then this time around, 12 years later, I gave birth to a baby. And I was like, hey, can we not repeat that one 12 years from now? I would like to not have that experience again. But for me, when it was on my sun sign, both times 12 years apart, I was extremely hugely pregnant. So I find that incredibly hilarious.
That's funny.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Like, all right, you can't make this up. So yes. Oh, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. And I hope you enjoy your June. And we will be back with some more astro info soon. And please share this with anybody who needs this information, because we want to help everybody flow with the energy of the universe and
Yeah.
enjoy their time here in Earth School. So
yeah. And also soon, very, very soon, we have our very first Patreon episode coming out.
Woo-hoo.
We have finally recorded it and it was amazing. And yeah, so stay tuned. We're gonna let you all know when it's out so you can join our Patreon and listen to that and many other yummy episodes that we're gonna, yeah, they're more like very class-like. Yeah, we really get into it.
Yeah,
I would say. Yeah.
I agree. So thank you for supporting us. And yeah, jump over to Patreon and check us out when we have that launched super soon. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us on this episode of RamGoatAstrology. You can support the show by buying us a coffee or a tea. Link in the show notes. Your financial support means the world to us. Join us next time.